Hello and welcome to a book review by Warhammer 40k bookreviews.com. Today I'm going to be talking about Nightbringer. Now, Nightbringer is in many ways one big Warhammer 40k cliché. It's a Space Marine story about mighty battles against alien foes. It's a story where everything is not as it first seems and the stakes turn out to be much higher than first assumed. Oh, and for good measure, it's a story about growing into the role of leadership and finding your place in the world. Space Marines, big battles, secret plots threatening entire worlds, and a main character with internal struggles. I think that pretty much covers the spectrum of boilerplate topics that 40k authors usually pick from the ingredient shelf when they're cooking up a new book. But Nightbringer is actually quite entertaining despite all of this. Uriel Ventris is a newly promoted captain of the Ultramarines, and his first assignment is to journey to the Imperial planet Pavonis, where civil disorder and Eldar raiders have disrupted the peace. Of course, it's soon revealed that there are far bigger dangers lurking on Pavonis, and Uriel finds himself caught up in a crisis that could mean the complete destruction of the planet if he fails. Much of Nightbringer is a look into the ranks of the Ultramarines and a view into their lives of service. In all of the Warhammer 40k lore, there are no beings more iconic of the universe than the Space Marines, the super soldiers who are genetically perfected to spend their lives as fearsome weapons of the God Emperor. And probably of all the main different Space Marine chapters, none are as iconic as the Ultramarines, clad in their deep blue power armor representing the most noble aspects of this warrior elite. Now, the Ultramarines are viewed by some hardcore Warhammer 40k fans as bland and boring since they are often portrayed as one-dimensional good and noble. And for the most part, Nightbringer does little to change this portrayal. But despite this, the author McNeil manages to make hearing about the Ultramarines interesting nonetheless. Sure, they're not the savage warriors struggling with their inner wild souls like the Space Wolves, for example, or haunted by past actions of their brothers like the Dark Angels. But the Ultramarines have a fully fleshed out identity and feel of their own, and the Forks Roman Legionnaire atmosphere of the chapter has an appeal all of its own that McNeil captures quite well. I also want to say that while the story will definitely not win any awards for originality, it does the job very well and very respectably. At the end of reading Nightbringer, I found myself in a somewhat ambivalent mood. On the one hand, the book had me entertained all the way through, but on the other hand, I felt that many aspects of the book were a little predictable and maybe not super well crafted, which gave me a flat feeling of lingering disappointment. But after thinking about it for a few days, I came to the conclusion that Nightbringer is in many ways the epitome of a Warhammer 40k book. It features some of the most well-known entities of the universe, and a story that is about as 40k-ish as you can get. It comes together to give you a sort of fast food sci-fi experience that is perfectly enjoyable for what it is. I give Nightbringer 3 out of 5 chainswords.